Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 36 of the New Slang Podcast. I'm Thomas Mooney, the editor-in-chief of New Slang here in Lubbock, Texas, and this week's guest is Jamie Lin Wilson. She was in Lubbock earlier this week. On Monday, she was a judge for the finals in the Blue Light singer-songwriter competition. And then on Tuesday, her and some Lubbock songwriters, Wade Parks, Carrie Sweeney, and Brandon Adams, they did a real intimate, awesome show at Blue Light where instead of playing on the stage, they played basically right by the bar, and it was really like I think like what Brandon had said was, he had played Wade's kitchen 1,000 times, him and Carrie Sweeney just passing the guitar around, and that's what it felt like for him, just with obviously with Jamie there as well. So it was a really, really fun and intimate setting. Hopefully Blue Light's able to do stuff like that, or start doing stuff like that in the immediate future. On this episode, me and Jamie, I really don't like to say what like we talk about since you're going to listen to it, but on this episode, we talk a whole lot about Turnpike Troubadours, and this is just a shameless plug. If you haven't read my track-by-track listening guide of Turnpike Troubadours' new album, you can do so on Wide Open Country. And we talk a lot about Turnpike Troubadours because Jamie has a really, really great relationship with Evan. They've written a bunch of songs. On the new record, they wrote the song called Oklahoma Stars. So we talk a lot about that and whatnot. Also, I guess just shameless plug. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, that's also with Evan Felker of Turnpike Troubadours. So go back and listen to that. Subscribe to the New Slang Podcast wherever you're listening to it. I'm assuming on iTunes. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Go ahead and give us a review, whichever you feel like. Hopefully 5 stars. And I guess like something else that's on Wide Open Country now is this little piece that I did on the 806 Songwriter Retreat. That happened a couple weeks back in Stephenville at Larry Joe Taylor's Melody Mountain Ranch. And with, I guess, like 12 Lubbock songwriters went and hung out. Graciously, I was able to attend as well. For some reason, they let me hang out, even though I'm not that cool. And, so that's going to be on there. Again, if you haven't listened to last week's episode, go ahead and do so. Turnpike Troubadours, Listening Guide, Wide Open Country, 806 Songwriter Retreat, Wide Open Country, and this is Jamie Lin Wilson. Probably better than my radio voice would
So here we are. It's 11 p.m. on a Tuesday.
You think you have like a more of a NPR voice, or like a
like Delilah, taking all your love song requests from now until midnight.
Well,
if you have anything you want to hear, just go ahead and call in. I'll try to get it on the air.
Landon's song would have really fit into 70s love songs.
Yeah.
Radio request hour.
Yeah. I imagine. It will probably one day.
Yeah. But, what'd you think about last night? Just the entire, I guess.
I liked it. And one thing that I woke up thinking this morning is that I wish that we had been able, I wish that I'd talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that I could have been like, I think that if I would have been in the contest, which I have never entered a songwriting contest because I know for a fact that I would lose. Always. That's just a thing in my mind. I know for a fact that I would lose. So I try to shy away from rejection as much as possible. But if I were in the contest, then I would want critiques.
Yeah.
That's why we send our songs. I have a little circle of friends that I send songs to kind of like that, to be judged, to be critiqued. And because whenever you're writing it yourself, you can't look at it with a subjective brain sometimes. Maybe you need to step away for a second and show it to somebody else, which I feel like is what they were doing. But then they just said, like we just said, sorry you didn't win.
Yeah.
But we didn't say why. Like, I don't know, I just felt like maybe it needed another verse. It's a great song, it just wasn't finished.
Yeah.
Try to add another verse or take one of those verses out because it was,
Yeah. They used to have a mic for the final judges, but I felt it was a little
too long.
It was too long, and it also kind of felt a little bit more like American Idol than because no one was saying that like critiques on the song. It was more just I just don't think it was there. It was stuff like that, and so it's
dumb.
not like.
But maybe like a critique sheet or something. Like we had a little thing for notes for ourselves, but if we could have maybe written just little notes to them.
Yeah.
So that they could see what we were thinking about. And if they care. If they don't care, cool. Because like I was saying last night, it's hard to judge somebody's art. A song is good for so many reasons. It could have a great melody and be really catchy, but maybe not have a whole lot of substance. But who cares? Because people are singing it, and it makes somebody happy. Or a song has a great storyline but maybe not that great of a melody.
Yeah.
But who cares? Because the story is so great. So like there's so many aspects to a song that like it's hard to go, okay, well this one's better than that.
Yeah.
For a ridiculous reason, being whatever mood I'm in at the moment.
And I think something else that like I've been here basically every week of the competition for the last 3 or 4 years now. This year I missed one of the weeks, but it's interesting to see sometimes the artist just hitting the nail on the head that prelim week, and then for whatever reason in the finals maybe they're a little nervous, or maybe just something
where they fall in the lineup,
where they just something else that maybe just throws them off their game, that like where I thought maybe that the prelim week they were amazing, the song really just hit well, and then in the finals like the song didn't hit
right, because also a whole other aspect to what makes a cool song is the delivery. Is the like it could have really really super simple lyrics to where you look at a lyric sheet and you go, this is going to be silly, but then you hear somebody deliver it and all of a sudden you go, oh, that was cool, actually.
Like for 2 examples for last night, I think we took that break and David Tribble was the next one in line, and so the crowd was a little bit louder.
They were pretty loud,
and so then Jerry went up and and
it kind of threw him off his game a little bit.
And
but his songs were great.
And then I think with Zach Coffey, he wasn't tuned right at the beginning, and so that kind of threw him off, and he was tuning instead of telling something about the songs. And I think that kind of maybe messed with what he was trying to tell, because like his in the prelim round, his banter, like he really shaped the songs really well. And that's just part of it, I guess. You know, I don't know.
It is, and I also feel a little bit like I would have liked to have heard more songs from less artists. Like I feel like it's so hard to tell if somebody's a great songwriter from 2 songs. I'd hate to be judged on 2 songs. Because which ones do you take? And then they might have had a third one that where I prefer the style, as there were 4 of us judges, it could have been like, but I really love that third song, and you could have been like, I really love the second song. Third song didn't get me, but anyway.
Well, also you're just, you may have liked those 3 songs better than those 3 songs just by having that one,
Right.
And
as a whole.
I mean, I think there's plenty of stuff that we can work and help make
But I
this
think
into
it's a great thing.
yeah.
Like, I've never been a part of any kind of a contest at all. Like, so I thought that it was, I think it's cool. It gives these writers around here something to work towards.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a couple of them that got on the stage and went, man, this is cool
Yeah.
that I'm here. And because you forget that, like I remember being in, my first band, the Gougers, we used to come through Lubbock and play somewhere else. Stubbs? Was there a Stubbs here?
Yeah, like the
original
Stubbs.
Stubbs. So we used to come through and play
Really?
over there, and because we couldn't get in here.
Yeah. But see, back then, Blue Light was like a real Texas country.
Right.
Hardcore Texas, like
Right.
that early 90s or mid-90s, I guess, version of 90s country, or 90s Texas country, you know?
Right.
And so, like, it was a lot more, I guess, ingrained to that.
Yeah, we weren't that.
Yeah.
But it was I remember it whenever then the Trishas came and played here, and I was like, man, so this is what the Blue Light's like, huh?
Yeah.
You know, like I'd never been in here before, and I'd never played here, but I remember like there's a certain prestige to venues in certain towns, you know, that have such history and stuff, and so some of these beginning songwriters were getting up there going, man, this is cool.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool feeling, and that's what something like this does. Let's these beginning songwriters have a chance on a stage, you know, where maybe some of their heroes have stood or whatever, you know, whoever they look up to, I don't know, but it's pretty cool.
It's also really interesting to see if you had like a lineup of everyone who had been in the contest, who had made it to the finals. There's been a lot of really great names who have never won. Like,
right.
Obviously, like Cleto from Flatland.
Yeah.
Dalton didn't win. Like Paul Cawthon was in it and came in like third one year. Grady Spencer. There's been a lot of really great songwriters who obviously didn't win, but I think, and especially with Dalton, I think it really gave him a boost.
That's why
as far
I don't
as
enter. Just kidding.
Do what?
That's why I never entered. I don't want to not win.
Yeah, but
Fear of failure, Mooney.
it's what happens. I mean, I guess like I don't know. I think also just I wonder how many people it, like in maybe like what you're saying here is like it would deter them from trying harder. Like if they did lose or if they, because I know like some people usually on that final Monday. There's a lot of like hard glares in the bar, you know what I mean? Which is kind of funny. Not necessarily even at me, but like, you know, just like people getting mad.
I know. I was, whenever he was announcing the winners, I was like not wanting to come out here.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I was like, all right, I got to own it.
Yeah.
Like, so I came out and stood in the corner and watched. And luckily, like, for us, because it was a really hard decision. You know, we stood back there for a long time debating who was going to win, and we finally decided on Will. But I was glad to hear whenever they announced his name, a lot of people go, "Man, I knew it! I knew he was going to win."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Okay, good."
Yeah,
good. I don't, you know, it wasn't like a bunch of people weren't that surprised, you know, because he's great.
Yeah,
and but there were, but you know, there were good. It was good. It was fun. It was good to see, you know, a lot of up and comers. And it was there was one girl here that played the keyboard, Holly, and she got up and was talking about her kids and stuff, and she's got 4 kids, and I was like, man. And she actually wrote me today on Instagram, and I was like, I was actually looking for you today on Facebook and Twitter. Like, I was trying to find her because I wanted to tell her, like, man, that's hard. And, like, I'm with you. Like, I've got 3, and I know, like, it's hard. But whenever you have something in you like that, like, I understand that you can't stop. Like, you have to chase it somehow, you know, and you have to let that talent and therapy, really, and especially her, like, she needs it. Like, I know she needs it personally, you know. So I was like, please just don't stop doing it. You're great. Like, you're great. So just keep going. And anyway, I was trying to find some folks last night that I wanted to tell that to as I walked through the bar before they all left. Because like I said, I wish that I could have said stuff to them.
Yeah.
You know, encouraging words.
Yeah. Maybe we need to like have because like obviously the notes get all thrown away, but like maybe we should have like another sheet where you can write notes on, and then we would transcribe and email them to.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do that next year.
Yeah.
Or even if you have
just
notes.
like a little notepad for if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I should have had one. I could have brought that myself, and I didn't. You know, it's not always somebody else's responsibility. I'm about to kill these flies. So
Yeah.
I'm good at it. Watch, I'll show you.
There's a lot of bar flies in here.
Yeah.
So.
Good one.
Yeah.
We are at the blue light.
I always like recording.
Was that to me? I'm just kidding. Wait, hold on.
I always like recording in here just because it's typically quiet.
Yeah.
You just kind of get a little bit of the ambiance.
A bar before it opens is a pretty great place.
Yeah. What is your what have been your favorite bars to play? Like in this kind of situation where it's like before the show, like where's your favorite like hangout spot, like hangout bar before you're playing there, or venue, whatever the case? Is there anything real special that you just like?
Well, Cheatham Street in San Marcos is always. I lived in San Marcos after I got out of college so that I could go hang out there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of my home. I always have to drink Dos Equis Draft out of a mason jar. And it makes me feel like I'm 22. Always tastes the same. It's tasted the same for that many years. It's always the same temperature. And I can drink it in about 13 seconds. It's so good. But, yeah, Cheatham is my home base. I like hanging out I like dive bars. So, you know, sometimes we'll get places and then go find somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't.
And also because you're going to be in the same place all night. So, you know, load in and sound check and then go, where's a bar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Another place.
I know like with Turnpike, they typically play at Charlie B's, you know, the big place.
And then they come here.
Yeah. And I'll go and tell the story because it's kind of funny. It's we were doing a podcast with them. It was like our first podcast. So I go pick them up. We go record. And at the end of the night, or I had text Clutto because like Clutto, you know, super fanboy. This is before they really were like taking off. And I think they only had their EP out. And so
Flatland?
I told them like, or I asked them like, hey, are you guys going to Turnpike? And like, no, we don't really have enough money, yada, yada, yada. Oh, okay. So they were here that night. Yeah. And like after the show, me, RC, and Evan came over here, and I walked through the door, and they're like right behind me, and their faces just like brighten up, and like Jason had just paid his tab and like had been signing his credit card receipt, turned around, and he went, let me have another whatever, I don't even know what he got, but like it was just one of those like they were so happy and
Never
like
mind. Oh no.
But
that's really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that with who did I take? Oh, I played with Susie Bogus in Fort Worth at the Live Oak.
Mm-hmm.
The last night that they were open, or the last weekend they were open, and those shows ended really early. The supper club shows that I was filling in for Courtney and Jason, their supper club deal, and it ends at like 8:30.
Okay, yeah.
Or something. And I was like, Susie, there's this really cool bar here that everybody just kind of goes to, like it's the after show hang, you know, so you have to come with us over to Magnolia.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, all right, I'm down. You know? So, like somehow my life got me to a point where like I was taking Susie Bogus to a dive bar.
Yeah.
Like, and Kylie Ray and Adrian Johnston and somebody else were playing there that night, maybe just them. And actually, I think it was somebody else entirely, but we were all just there. So Kylie Rae got up and played a song, and then I was like, "Hey, Susie, you want to sing Aces?" And she's like, "Yeah." So then, like, me and Susie Boggess were on stage with Kylie Rae and Adrian, and we were singing Aces, and everybody's like, "Wait a second, that sounds like the song that's on the Holy Shit." It's her.
In those moments, like, is it just surreal? Are you just like
so much? Like,
just
even
go
right
into
now,
that
I don't
moment where you
believe
go-
that I even right now. Like, I sang Susie Boggess songs whenever I was 10 in talent shows.
The last time you were judged in
Yeah.
in that format.
Yeah. Yeah, I stopped doing talent shows whenever I realized that, you know, there were more than 3 kids in each one, and I was probably going to lose. But I'm from a small town, so I was forced to be in them by my parents because my dad was on the fair board and nobody else was entering the contest, and they're like, "You have to because there's nobody in there, and we have to."
Yeah.
So all the fair board kids would have to go be in the talent show, you know.
Yeah. I always feel like in those moments of when you're either talking with someone that you just admire, I don't know necessarily hero, but like they always go by so quickly.
Yeah.
And I like there's been some interviews where I've interviewed that person and we either hung up the phone or finished it up, and then right after I'm like, did we just do that?
Wait, did I just? Yeah.
And then you just feel like this rush, and then just this drop off for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I had one of those moments with Terry Allen. Actually, we did a Guy Clark thing last spring, I guess, at the Paramount tribute show, and I got to sing. I was there at rehearsal, and somebody goes, "Hey, do you know Dublin Blues? Leroy Parnell's singing Dublin Blues, and he wants to know if you can sing the harmony." And I was like, "Yeah, I got it." You know, so I did the rehearsal or whatever. And then Terry was watching, and he came over and he was like, "I didn't recognize you. I've met you before, but I didn't recognize you." And I said, "Well, usually I have long hair and I'm pregnant, but I'm neither one of those things right now. So you have an excuse." And he laughed, and I was like, first of all, Terry Allen just laughed at my joke. Cool. Yeah. And then like 5 minutes later, I was walking back through backstage, and I heard him repeat my joke to Joe Ely. And I was like, "Ooh." Terry Allen just repeated my joke to Joe Ely.
That's funny right there. Yeah.
It's like, man, I could die. I could die happy right now. I can quit and be good.
You're somebody who always ends up singing harmonies or like duets with people. Like you get asked that a whole lot, all by your friends.
Yeah.
Like why do you think it is that you kind of fall in that role for a whole lot of people? Like I feel like if anyone's making a record, they'll call you up to do harmonies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not like that you're just a harmony singer or nothing like that. But like
I love it. I love singing harmonies. It's one of my favorite things because I like having that role of enhancement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I know how to make this song sound really cool. Let's try this.
Yeah.
You know, because I just like being able to add to things, you know, and not. I've worked really hard to figure out how to be under the radar harmony and not like stand out you know.
Yeah.
So I think that probably started because the original band that I was in the Gougers, it was really heavy on harmony. It was male and female fronted, like Graham and Emmylou style, you know, where we traded leads and harmonies and stuff. So I was a really strong harmony presence to a male,
yeah,
you know, in that band. And so my friends that knew that band, Mike Ethan Messick, Chris King, like Gabe Wooten, all of those guys that I was around then, I just kind of became the group harmony singer by proxy because I was the only one.
Yeah.
Like I was I was the only girl in the group and they wanted girl harmonies, and so I would do it.
Yeah.
You know, and because they're my friends, I love them and they're great. So of course, like if Ethan makes a record, like I get my feelings hurt if he doesn't call me and say, if Chris makes a record, like it actually hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
You know, because like, come on guys, like I thought I'm your girl.
Yeah.
I thought that I was the one for you.
Yeah.
You know, we've been in this for 15 years together, slugging it out, like, and I want to, like, I feel like we're a family at that point, you know, at this point, and they write with me and I record songs we write together, and they ask me to come sing harmony, and, you know, but then it kind of just, the rest of them, it just kind of goes by, like, I've been doing this a long time, so I have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And for most of them, they're collaborations. Like I was on Turnpike's Goodbye Normal Street record because Evan and I wrote Call a Spade together.
Yeah.
So we did it. We wrote it specifically as a duet. He was like, I want to write this duet with you. Here's what I have. And then I wrote him back the verse. And he's like, yeah, cool. It's done. Sounds great. When do you want to, we're making a record in a month or two. You want to come out? You know? So then, and Evan and I have just grown to be really, really close. So, you know, again, we're like family. So, like, my husband and I go visit him and Stacy at their house.
Yeah.
Like, we go stay at their house, and they come to our house, and he plays in Concan, and the bus drops him off in Dehennis at the Pico, and I go pick him up and then take him to sound check later.
Yeah.
The kids come home from school, and they're like, why is Uncle Evan asleep on the couch? But, you know, so in Wade, same thing. We write songs together, and then we record them together.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I love it, though. I like being a girl that they call.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, like you've done those. You've done like the Cody Canada or the Jimmy Plato. Departed, that one.
Yep. Same thing. I'm in there. Like, we're all a family.
Yeah.
Those guys. I'm about to sing on the new Departed record coming up in December. I think they're making a record right now, and I think I'm going to be the chick on that one too.
And see, like, seeing all the photos from like Medicine Stone, I put on Twitter that I thought you were like the MVP just by photos because like you were on stage with everyone. American Aquarium. Like,
yeah, it's funny because it's people that like I play shows with these guys or festivals. Other, you know, I sang with BJ for the first time at Steamboat at Music Fest. We were doing a Guy Clark thing, and he was doing She Ain't Going Nowhere, and he was like, hey, do you want to come sing with me on this song? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I went and did it, and then we decided that we like singing together. And so he came to Green Hall like a month or two ago and asked me if I wanted to come sing a couple songs, like just as a guest. Like I wasn't an opener or anything, you know, but I live pretty close by, so I went and did it. And then all of a sudden now we've got a couple songs that I can jump up on because we worked it out at individual shows. And that's how it is with everybody. Like Bruce Robinson was playing whenever I drove up to the festival, and I was like, Bruce is on. And I went over there, and I mean, I learned all the 12-bar blues when I learned how to play guitar. Like I know Bruce is like one of my number one influences. And so I just got really excited. And he was like, oh, Jamie's here. Come sing Angry all the time. And I was like, I'm wearing cutoffs and like a Wrangler shirt right now, but cool. Like, Bruce Robinson asks you to sing Angry all the time. By God, you sing it, you know. I don't care what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a trucker hat, you know. It's so silly. But, you know, it's just because I play shows with them separately. And then it just so happens that Medicine Stone is full of all of my closest friends. Yeah. And so I see them backstage and they go, hey, we're going to do our song, right? I'm like, yeah, sure. Cool. And then that ends up where all of a sudden I'm on stage at the other set. But I don't mind. I love it. I like being busy at things like that, you know.
Well, I like the idea of like duet records.
Yeah.
You know, and typically I think like a lot of like guys do, like it's their like okay, for example, like John Prine, he did
Yeah.
that one where he's just all these different
It's all the
female
duets, yeah.
guests coming on and doing duets. Are you going to do something like that? Like, with
Yeah,
just
that'd be
different?
fun.
Because I think that would be really cool and just real fun.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun too. I wonder if I have to write them all. We could find some, huh?
You could have like, well, yeah, you
Do
could
like
find songs.
old Dolly and Porter duets.
Yeah, or
Conway and Loretta.
I always like because this what
Like
it
you're
feels
the.
like a
I
lot
always
of
wanted
times.
to. I always wanted to work up. You're the reason our kids are ugly with Evan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, that's a great one. What I think also too is like, I think you guys talked about it with the Departed song. Is like you made that into.
We made it into a duet. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of songs that are
yeah
like that where you.
I know.
You
I
can
think
just
so too. That is true.
Duets that aren't duets that you could.
Yeah. Wade and I wrote our song not as a duet.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I emailed or interviewed him about that, he was saying that, that it wasn't.
It wasn't supposed to be, and then I cut it, and I sent him the track, and he was like, "Hey, that sounds great. You want to make it a duet?" Like kind of as a joke. And I was like, "Wait, are you serious? Because if you're serious, then yes. But also, it's in B flat, so good luck."
Yeah.
But he's a really great singer.
Yeah, I guess he's got his new record coming in the
It's good.
2018.
Is it do they have a date yet?
I don't think of like an official date. I've just been told early 18.
Yeah, it's great. They did it with Gaddis
Yeah, he was
in Nashville. And Gaddis produced a record on the Gougers a long time ago. So I know that he's really particular
Yeah.
and good.
So
Barflies.
yeah, I know.
There's barflies
They
in
need
here.
freaking tape here or something. I don't know. Or
We're just so sweet over here. They just want to come over here and hang out.
I think they have you seen those fly guns that
Oh,
shoot
they
like salt?
have one.
That's what I was gonna say. I think they have one somewhere here.
They're called assault. It's assault rifle. So Parker last night shot his tequila
Okay.
shot with the assault rifle.
Just an assault
It was
rifle.
Pretty grody.
He shot it with he shot his
into
shot.
the cup.
That's Parker. That's what sounds like Parker
Yeah.
big time.
We had a good time last night.
Yeah.
It was fun. We're gonna have another good time tonight, I think.
I think so.
I hope people come out.
Last time was
Tuesday
fun. It was like last year whenever Susan and Drew and
Oh yeah, of course
BA
that was
and
fun. They're
Carrie.
funny.
Yeah.
I love Susan Gibson so much. We just giggle if we get together and we just giggle constantly because we have the same sense of humor where we make jokes under our breath at inappropriate moments.
Mm-hmm.
You were privy to that last night.
Yeah.
Tom got the good fortune to sit by me last night at the judges table.
And Carrie's loud enough that you can almost hear basically all of his.
I had to pass notes to him so that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really fun.
See, we were sitting right here where we are.
Yeah.
And there was people sitting way close to you
Really
right
close
here
to me.
as well.
Yeah.
That had space on the other side.
Yeah. It's like, why are you sitting right next to me? There's an empty chair. I'm teaching my children about personal space right now because I think that it's a really important lesson to learn, and you might as well learn it when you're 5 and 7.
Thank you so much. There needs to be more people like that in this world because that's one of the things I do not like.
We were at the church dinner the other day, and we're getting food in the little potluck line or whatever. There was this little 8-year-old girl behind me, and she kept taking a step forward while I was still making my plate. She was so little, but I just kept looking at her like, Nicole, get a hold of your children. Have you not taught your child the don't stand too close to somebody in line at Walmart lesson?
Yeah.
Obviously not.
That's what bothers me. And if you're talking about at Walmart, it's the people who I'm okay with bending the 10 items or less to 10 to 12, 14, 15. But there's people who just blatantly break that rule, and that's what bothers me.
I know.
And
it always happens to me where the 10 items or less line is empty, but I have more, but I also have 3 kids with me. And so somebody will go, like the person in the line will go, hey, come over here real fast so that you can get out, you know, with your children, which is such a nice gesture. And I go, no, I have too many things in my basket. I don't want to do that because it makes me feel icky. I don't like it. You know? So no, they're like, no, just come over. So I'm like, okay, fine. And then I go over and no kidding, like 5 seconds later, there's like 3 people behind me in line. Yeah. And I have to sit there and go, she made me come here. Yeah. Like she made me, she told me. And like, you tell them that you made me come in this line. Yeah.
See, like, that's okay. I'm talking like you get in there and there's like somebody where you don't see like the
but it bothers
the
me
second,
too, which is why I'm sitting there going, I swear I didn't do this.
They've got like a second basket like where you don't even see it. Those kind of people.
All the stuff tucked up underneath.
Some reason they're gonna like be writing a check as well, like that kind of deal.
Man, I am the person that writes the checks. And it's so funny every time where people are like, you have a checkbook? That's weird. Yeah. It's even weirder if you pay with cash. Yeah. I pay with cash a lot, and I have a thing where like if there's a possibility of giving exact change, I'm gonna do it, you know. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hold on, this is gonna be really good, and it's gonna make me feel really good for the rest of the day. Stand by. Like dig out like $21.17 or whatever.
See, when I'm paying with cash, this is something that like I don't know if for some reason some cashiers do not comprehend.
Are you gonna say where you do the even change, where you get back even change?
Yeah.
That's
like
don't get it.
Yeah, it's the even change thing. So like say it's 52 cents, right?
You give them 62, so you get a dime back.
Well, that or like just give them the 2 cents, so you get.
Oh, so you get
stuff like that.
Yeah, if it's like $21 and something, you give them 26, or you know whatever would make sense.
But you're getting just a handful of change, right? But like you just want instead of getting 4 pennies basically on a whole lot of stuff. And some people were like, I said it was 17, and I'm like, okay,
here, plug it into your calculator. And see how I'm going to get so much less stuff back in my purse
It's going to be easier on you.
It's going to be easy. Just give me a dime, okay?
They don't want to do that. I don't know. That's more at convenience stores than like or like truck stops.
But I make them do it anyway.
You make them?
Yeah. I never say never mind ever.
I've tried to explain
it's okay. Just give me a nickel. It'll be fine.
I've done it where like I've tried to explain too many times and just been like, okay, just give me the change then.
I use it as this is something you should learn.
Yeah.
You need to learn this. You're a cashier.
Learning is taking place.
I'm teaching you right now.
That's what they need to teach in schools, not
how to give correct change.
I don't know. It's we've gone off on a tangent right there.
Sorry about that.
No, these are like
I do that.
The times where I think like the ranting kind of stuff it helps people.
You know, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I appreciate a good off-topic rant. It'll get me from one place to the next on my drive. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I skip through. It's okay. It's a possibility here, too. Yeah. They could have skipped over that.
But they may have learned something, too. That's the more important part.
They're like, none of those numbers that she just said make sense.
Yeah. It's okay. What were we talking about before? Producers. We were talking about Wade's record.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about Wade's record.
I think something that some people... okay, I'll backtrack a little bit. I think a lot of the really great records that have been coming out lately, a lot of the... in country music or Americana stuff, have all been done by, like, rock and roll producers. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if there's something to that. Like, if you think of, like, Dave Cobb, like, he coming from more of a rock background... Or like, I've had more examples. For some reason, I can only think of him.
Well, Gaddis is pretty
like
rock
what Wade
heavy.
was saying that he was a little bit more on the rock side.
He got Oddly Freed to come play drums or drums.
Or like even like Scott Ferris here, he's the one who did Flatlands Records, and I feel like that adds another. Or Serato and Ben Hussey,
right,
in Stephenville, they've kind of have more of a rock edge.
I think that it is. I think it's important to do that kind of production, you know, the way that I've always liked to do my records, and I think that this translates over to that to that point. But like, take it song by song. Like, I'll have some song that is really dark lyrically. Well, I don't want to put dark production on it. I want to brighten it just a little bit, so that then there's that tension there of like, wait, that song sounds really dark, but it kind of comes off sounding a little light and happy. That's weird. You know, it kind of creates like this weird tension. And then at the same time, if there's a song that's happy, then I put dark production, like I bring it back down a little bit. So then the whole record kind of ends up here. Yeah. You know, and it's not like we produced this song to make it sound like a nice happy country song, you know, and then the next song is like wah wah wah. Yeah. Like way down here, and they're so starkly different. But then somehow they end up sounding cohesive if you do that, like if you bring the. So I think that if there's you know, a more acoustic performer or more and I do that too. My voice is country. You can't make it any more country sounding. So I try to do that with production of my songs. Like I don't have to, like, I already sound country enough. Like, I don't have to country this thing up any more than it already will be. You know, like, you can't. So I like to do that. Like, add more grungy, you know, more dirty sounding instrumentation, or really the drum sounds always like to be real thuddy and dark, you know, instead of shiny and bright, and and keep it low on the cymbals and hi-hats and stuff, and, you know, just kind of. And I think that that's what rock producers bring to the table with guys who write straight up country songs. Yeah. And that in itself is kind of what creates Americana music. Yeah. You know, it's roots. It's got rock roots, it's got country roots, it's got, you know, Appalachian roots, and all of these different things. Like, you can tell that, like, where you get these things from, but it's still excuse me, it's still music that you can, the songs themselves can still be sung on the front porch somewhere. They're not something that's created electronically. They just have electric things added to them later, you know, that makes the sound a little bit more interesting and new. Yeah. You know, it makes it a little bit new sounding.
See, that's what I was thinking, like, with basically that the producers are coming at these songs in a different way that right. That is not the typical approach that would.
You can hear it on that Isbell record. You know, it's really acoustic.
The which one?
The last one. But even the other ones too. Like, they're acoustic driven for the most part. There's some songs on there that are really not. You know, there's some because you can't hide that from him. You know, his rock and roll, but they'll double the vocal. Like, that's not a country move. Yeah. You take this song that's nothing but him and a guitar, and then on the chorus you double the vocal, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that sounds cool and edgy. Yeah. You know, like, and it's not even that's what comes to your head. It's oh, that sounds different. Yeah. That's cool. You know, and it's so easy. He just sang that twice, and they kept both of them. Yeah. You know, like, it's not like it, and it's cool. Like, it's a cool effect. I like to use that too. It's a cool trick, you know, but it's a rock move. It's a Beatles move.
Yeah. I think with Isbell's gotten to the point where, one, I think basically everyone agrees that he's pound for pound, like, you know, the top songwriter, if you will, if you want to throw something out there like that. Right. Top of his game. But then also there's the people who, well, this is not as good as his old stuff. Oh, God. You know, it's like the same kind of thing.
And it's fine too. Like, maybe you can't say that it's not as good. You can just say you prefer. Yeah. Well,
what I would say is, though, is like, if he had done the record, if somehow in an alternative universe he had done the records in reverse order, they would be saying the same thing.
Right.
So,
Because he's great.
but I think like, what did he? Is that like the Ryman just
Yeah. The
just-
6 shows in a row.
yeah,
Or 5
to me
shows
that's
in a row.
amazing too. It's just like being able to perform and sell out 6 shows in a row.
Yeah.
And I think there's only one thing that could have made it cooler is like had he just not performed the same song twice.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
That would have been a pretty hefty.
Yeah. Butch Hancock from Lubbock,
Mhm.
he had like I don't know, he did that like in Austin one time. They're all on cassettes though.
Yeah.
So, but
That's
I
cool.
find that really
You got to have a lot of songs.
yeah, and like I don't have a copy of those tapes. Anytime you look on eBay or Amazon or something,
Yeah.
they're just way out of what I would be able to
Yeah.
spend for. But
Could somebody copy those for me?
yeah, that's what I've been. I
Can you
guess I'm just
dub
like,
this?
I was talking with my buddy Jeff. Like, what if we had like a couple people just
All pull in your money.
pull in and buy,
And then just go with those old
Yeah.
school, like, double cassette tape recorders
yeah.
we used to record songs off the radio with.
But on those tapes too, he had a whole bunch of guests. Like the people who were playing on that. It's like obviously Ely and Jimmy
Yeah.
Dale Gilmore and Terry Allen and like a bunch of other like awesome people. And it was,
Yeah.
I guess they were done in the late 70s.
Did he do it at Cactus or? where were they?
I think so actually. I think so actually.
Yeah.
It was at Cactus. But it was like 6 nights in a row,
Yeah.
something like that, which is
That's cool.
But
I want to get to where I can play 6 nights in a row somewhere. That'd be pretty handy.
yeah, just
You just hang out and then leave your stuff on the stage
Mhm.
and
I wish
come back.
like I don't know how many places really. I don't know if like a place like Blue Light could do something like that. But I've always liked whenever people would play back-to-back nights.
Right.
I think that's kind of cool. Flatline's done a back-to-back night. I remember like probably 5-6 years ago, Jonathan Tyler did a
Yeah.
back-to-back night here.
I did
And
it
that
at,
was-
we did it at Anderson Fair in Houston. Trisha's did. It's pretty great. You just leave your stuff set up and
Hmm
come back the next day and here we go.
Yeah, I think what would be cool is just to have like a house band
Mm-hmm.
that would be able to play for a week straight, and then just have different guests
Yeah.
play with that band. You know, that would be something.
Yeah, that's a
Really
cool
cool.
event.
Make it, yeah, because I think that's what you have to do. You have to make them into events,
Yeah.
more than just. Hey,
They
we're
used
playing
to do
here.
that, you know. The old days they used to make events like that. It wasn't just like so and so show.
Yeah,
It was, you know, every night or, you know, every weekend or whatever there was an event that you wanted to see. Like, oh, I can't miss that because
hmm
that doesn't happen very often, or so and so's come through town and all these other people are playing too.
yeah. But it's like the night Hank Williams came to town. Like that's
Right.
you know. Which I'm surprised. Is there not like the night Johnny Cash came to town, like
don't know.
to follow that? I feel like that would have been like a cool line of songs, right?
Yeah.
Is like the night Hank Williams came to town. Then somebody did Johnny Cash, and then somebody wrote
Uh-huh.
about that guy,
Yeah.
and then we'd have like 8 songs by now.
Yeah.
Something, I don't know. Maybe
It just
less than
keeps
that.
on going.
Yeah,
It's funny because eventually somebody's gonna be writing like the night Evan Felker came to town, or
Oh, I thought you were gonna go really into
No,
the
like,
horrible direction.
no, it's weird. I just think about that sometimes. Like the time that we're living in right now, where like we've got so many great songwriters
Mhm.
around us. You know, like we're spoiled in terms of songwriting right now.
I think not just in terms of songwriting, but like having access to them as
Right.
well. That's
Yeah. And like I was telling Roy the other day that it's like I think that like it's going to be really interesting whenever, you know, we're older and I'm the one that they call to get like to write Evan's biography or whatever.
Mhm.
Like I'm calling you to, you know, maybe if you could tell me a few words about Evan Felker because he's really super famous now and writing a biography on him.
yeah.
Be like, what do you want to know? No, I would not tell them anything. I would say he's a nice man who used to sleep on our couch sometimes.
There you go.
But it is weird, like, that we have access to such great songwriters, and like we're kind of, back in the 70s and the 80s, it was that group of, Guy and Rodney and Steve Earle and all of them. They were just kids playing songs, Towns and Blaze Foley, and like, and they didn't know that all of them were going to be super famous songwriting legends.
Yeah, I don't think they ever thought they would be appreciated.
They're just sitting there singing songs in their backyard, and Emmy Lou's back there harmonizing, and like they're just making music because they love it, and then it ended up being something that formed a complete subgenre of music.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I wonder if that's where we are, like if we're in another one of those eras with like all of these greats around us.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny Burke is going to be, like, he's great.
Yeah.
Johnny is like a genius. Every time, like Johnny, how do you have so many words in that tiny little body? You have so many words in there, and I'm going to be telling stories about how he practically lived in my van for 3 months at a time in the Gouchers, Oh yeah, little Johnny. I got stories about that one too. But then there's Evan, there's Jack Ingram. I mean, like so many are just so great, and I just feel like we're in a really cool spot regarding that.
Yeah.
Right now, especially in this area, in this scene, where we're gonna be able to say like, yeah, we used to hang out sometimes.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. Tell our grandkids about it. Remember that time that I brought Evan over the blue light? That's what you're gonna say. And then you're going to be like, yeah, and Cleto was there. And your kids are going to be like, Cleto was there too, man.
Well, see, that's the thing, too, is like all these stories are actually going to be like where since we put it out like in the podcast world, people are going to be like, I was there that night, too.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because actually I was just talking to Evan and I were talking the other day about how long we've known each other. Mm-hmm. And I was saying that we met at Steamboat because that's what I remember is whenever I met him at Steamboat, we were watching Corblund, and like he came up and we started talking and we met and we became friends, and I introduced him to Corb.
Yeah.
And then like that's like a big moment in our history because now he and Corb are great friends. Yeah. And he's like, you're the one that introduced me to Corb. And so we were talking about that night, and he was like, well, actually I saw you whenever I was 22. You were playing with the Gougers and the Dead Ringers at this Brandon Jenkins benefit at the White Elephant in Fort Worth. And I was like, man, I remember that because that's the night I met Jason Eady. Mm-hmm. Jason was running sound, and it was this benefit where Brandon Jenkins' trailer got stolen or something where he needed, an event or whatever. So this lady named Joni in Fort Worth like put together this event, and we all went and played all day long, music all day long. And so I told Jason that. I was like, did you know Evan was there that day? And he was like, yeah, I remember I met him that day, and I also met you that day. Jason was doing the sound for some reason, and I thought it was so funny that he had a business card. I remember that. He gave me his business card, and I was like, who has business cards? That's weird. But also Ryan Bingham was on it too, and Cody Jinks was the bartender.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bunch of people.
That's a bunch of people. And there were more people there too. I'm pretty sure that McClure was there, and like it was like there were a ton of lots and lots and lots of people. By the end of the night, I think that Randy came over, and like Corey Morrow, or like there were some other people that just kind of were down the street at Billy Bob's or something and came in, kind of a deal. And I was like, I feel like it's like one of those paintings where like I'm in the middle, like looking around, and it's like like the Marilyn Monroe and James Dean, like with on a pool table kind of painting.
You
like
want like a shot like up here somewhere.
Yeah,
you know,
like
just an aerial, not necessarily an aerial shot.
Where like Cody Jinks is slinging whiskeys and like Evan's hiding in the corner watching the show. like I'm just standing up there with my jumbo guitar and my hair in a ponytail and probably like a hoodie on, you know, because I never wore makeup or anything back then or anything. I'm probably barefoot. Like I was probably barefoot.
I'm sure you can get that commissioned.
Jason's in the sound booth, up in the sound booth running sound.
Just get someone to paint that.
Johnny
for
Burke's
you.
there talking to Cody Jinks at the bar. But he's only like 18, so he can't get anything. Yeah, those nights keep coming out where we go, oh yeah, I was there. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Man.
So the New Turnpike record, Oklahoma Stars. Where did that come? Where how did you guys start that song? How did you guys form it?
Well, I started that song right after Medicine Stone last year because did you go to Medicine Stone?
No.
Okay. You should. Oh yeah, you said that. I saw you say that one time. You should go because it's pretty great. And I was walking around one night, like one of the nights, I don't know, really, really late. And I just kind of realized that like all of these people are coming from all of these different places and meeting at this festival, and then they go home. So they're different states or different, like some people come from different countries, like, and they all come together because they like the atmosphere and they like the music and they come and have a great time, and it's 4 a.m. and everybody's awake, and that's, you know. Yeah. So I was just kind of observing, walking from campsite to campsite, like just watching people hang in, and it was really cool. And then I stopped at some point and looked up and noticed that there was a meteor shower happening at the same time as like I'm having all of these, you know, so that idea just kind of got in my head, like they burn so bright and then disappear, you know, comparing all these people to this, you know, just aligning them with the meteor shower. And so I had that stirring in my head for a while, and then I got home from Medicine Stone, and then I went to Europe with Sonny. I kept working on that song the whole time that I was there, like trying to figure it out, what happens in it, you know, what the characters are doing, and I thought that I had it finished pretty much. You know, I was like, all right, I know that I need to edit still, but I wanted Evan to hear it. And it was so silly because I was like, hey, Ev, I just finished this song, I think, or I didn't tell him I finished it. I just said, hey, I have this song, and I think that you'll like it because it has Oklahoma in it. Which is so silly because, like, what if he said, hey, I have this song and it says Texas? You're probably going to like it.
You'd probably record it. And
I'd be like, yeah, it's great. I'll record it. But anyway, he listened to it and was like, man, I've been writing all day. Like, he was holed up in a hotel room somewhere on tour, and he'd been writing, he said, for like 8 hours or something. And he was like, I've been writing all day, and I'm kind of in that zone. I bet I could have you another verse in an hour. Yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, you know, that's like, because I wasn't real sure that it was finished. I knew that it needed something else, you know? Yeah. But man, Evan is the best at just taking, like, he does it with his own songs so well, and with any that I've taken to him like that, where he is the best at just taking a song and tying it up in a nice little bow. And like, he turned that song, like he wrote the last verse and then he went through and edited, you know, like changed things in the rest of it too, you know. But that whole last verse, you know, it would take a fool to say it like a photograph of grace. Fools need supervision. I mean, come on. Yeah. Fools need supervision, or gift for saving face. Yeah. Like, see, like, hit that one on the head.
I was wondering if he was like part of the Fool part, because he's had other songs that really
Well,
talk
even,
about
but well,
a lot
even
of full like if you
yeah, that's funny, because, you know, he and I wrote Little Sweet Cigars together for the Trishas. And in the chorus, it says, "When you're kissed by a fool, then you're fooled by a kiss."
yeah
But that was me.
yeah
I wrote that line.
yeah
I was like, yeah, we even say it in Wait, but
yeah. I didn't even think about that one right there. Yeah,
I didn't. Yeah, it's just.
Like
funny.
that's where I think one of the things that
But he does. He brings that back.
yeah, because I think like one of his not necessarily go-to images,
Yeah.
but like if you're young love, lust, or if you've been
Mhm.
like betrayed by a breakup kind of thing,
Yeah.
you automatically just go into being a fool for
Yeah.
like not seeing it.
Well,
of
it's
thing.
a
and
yeah.
he plays that a whole lot about. It's not necessarily the fool line, but like in "Empty as a Drum,"
Yeah.
I'm too young or I'm too old to be this dumb.
Yeah.
like that whole thing.
The
you know?
self-deprecation thing's
Yeah.
easy to go. Like it's not easy. It's easy in life to do that. You
Mhm.
go. I mean, that's a true emotion.
Yeah,
You know. Well, and and Evan's really good at capturing real life true
yeah.
emotions.
I think the
you know.
fool in Oklahoma Stars though, like I think that's maybe his most complete thought on it though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's really great.
I loved it. I heard like he sent me a picture of his handwriting. Like he wrote it down on a hotel, like in the hotel, like on his notepad or whatever. And he just sent me a picture of it. And I was like, all right, well, and it wasn't even an hour. It was like 30 minutes.
Really.
And I went in the kitchen and I told Roy, I was like, well, Evan just finished that song and he knocked it out of the park. Of course. Like we got it on a handshake, you know, got it on a handshake. We sold it in a song. Just to take a simple feeling, doing something wrong. God, so good.
Yeah.
So good.
What do you have worked up for yourself going? Like where are you at in the
And to
next
make a new record world.
Yeah.
Man, these flies are fast. Well, I actually was just doing that today, making a list of I've got so many that I need to send Evan. I've got so many that are really close. I think I finished one today actually, in the room. But I made a list of all of the songs that are finished, that are ready to be recorded, and then another list of songs that are in progress. And the in progress list is significantly longer than the finished list. Yeah. But I'm being really, really particular on this in terms of songs that are only, you know, top tier in my opinion. I don't want to just have a filler. I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I'd rather record 4 songs than record 12 songs that, you know,
yeah,
aren't the best. So I'm working on it. I've been going in the studio a little bit. I recorded 3 songs a few months back, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I might re-record them with the same band in another studio just to make a record cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping to be able to go in at the end of the year or the beginning of next year, kind of just knock one out like in a few days, get a really great band and go in and cut it mostly live.
Yeah.
And
whenever you're working on like in this stage right here, like how many songs do you want to go into the studio with? Do you want to go into the studio with more and then cut back, or do you want to go in knowing like
I'll know.
These are the
I'll know, and if there's one that is on the fence, then I'll have a committee of people listening to it going, should we cut this or not? Should we spend the time on cutting this? And if somebody says, yeah, because we have these ideas for production and it'll be really, really rad, then I go, all right, cool, let's do it then.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it has been in the past, you know, but in general, like whenever I make a record, I have the songs all, I don't like making a record of songs that don't all fit together with subject matter and feel, and not quite concept records, but I just want them to go.
Yeah.
I just want them to go together, and that might be a fault. But otherwise, I get real, I don't know, uneasy.
Yeah. See, like to me, like the whole idea of like concept records, I think we've maybe started using the word concept in the wrong way, because like we'll go, well, this is a loose concept record, but shouldn't like all records kind of already just be in a weird, strange way, like a loose
They should
concept?
all fit together somehow.
Yeah.
In my opinion, for mine, I know, and they do. I mean, all records fit together as long as they're using the same band, as long as they have the same sounds. And some records aren't made like that. Some go, I don't know, we cut these 3 songs here with this band and these 3 with, and somehow probably by subject matter they end up fitting together and sounding cohesive. But if you're making a record with the same guys, then it won't sound abnormal to somebody. But I just really like to be able to have like, I don't know, I hate to keep going back to Evan, but they're so relevant right now. But but they have that record, the songs aren't all about the same thing. Like there's some personal songs.
No,
there's
they're all
songs,
about the same thing. They're all about the same.
But they are all in the same vein.
Yeah.
Like he writes Middle America,
Yeah.
And that's what it is. He might as well be William Faulkner writing short stories.
Yeah.
Because that's what his songs are, and that's how they all become a cohesive,
Yeah.
unit.
Yeah.
So, in that regard, and those guys in the band, I was telling somebody else the other day, like they've all grown into such great players individually that like I can pick out a Ryan Engelman solo just by tone and moves. Like I can go, oh yeah, that's an Engelman move. You know, same with Hank, like on the steel. Like I can, like they're such individually dynamic players that together as a band, they're unstoppable because they're great. Like Gabe Pearson is one of the greatest drummers that I've seen. I watch him live. I'm like, how's he doing that? Like I don't understand. And he's singing while he's doing it. He sings the harmonies. Yeah. Like how? And Kyle has a style on the fiddle that you can tell it's him. And so through the years, they have grown into having their own personal playing style. And then whenever 2 songs sound completely different, take House Fire, if you want to. Take the first 2 songs on the record. Yeah. They sound completely different, but they both sound like Turnpike in the end because each guy puts his stamp on it. Yeah. And then you go, oh yeah, cool. Like, it sounds great together. Like
I think that obviously I'm joking about all the songs being about Jimmy and Lori, but people try and tie them all together.
I've seen some of that stuff going around. It's pretty funny.
I try to remind people that like Evan and RC are also there's a version of those characters in this world too, so like give them some space to think about them as characters. But more than any other band right now, I think that you're talking about like the idea of years from now we're all going to be going like, oh, do you remember like we're in a golden era. I think that like Turnpike has made in a way like it's like the Joseph Campbell kind of like American myth kind of thing. Like we're not going to think of these people necessarily as Pecos Bill or like Paul Bunyan, but like in a weird way
the characters in the songs.
We're making them they're making them into these American mythical kind of like larger than life characters. And I think like there's something to that where 6, 7, 10 records in, you're going to have this really rich, large.
You can put all the ones together that.
And you're going to
take them record to record and go and then put them together and be like, and this was their life.
Yeah. Well, I think like like an interactive map.
Yeah.
It's all like the.
Well, I'm still catching things too because I've listened to. What was I listening to the other day? And I just had caught it. What's that song? The Is it the Mercury?
Mm-hmm.
Where it says Jimmy in it, right?
Yeah, because Jimmy gets mad.
And he leaves like someone died.
Yeah.
He runs out like someone died.
Well, see, like, I was thinking about that too, but
and
I didn't want to.
Evan Felker, you sorry little bastard. Like, you added that in just because it rhymed, and I know he went, that's going to be funny.
Yeah. Well,
because then he's going, obviously, to the funeral.
Well, also, like, it's also the, he left like somebody had died. But I was trying to, like, see if, like, that was pre-funeral or post-funeral, because, like, the car is the same, too. Mm-hmm. So he could have already had, like, if it's post-funeral, he got his dad's car, too.
Right.
But if it's pre-funeral, it's because he left like somebody had died.
Yeah.
So.
I know. See, and I know he does that on purpose.
But I think it's like.
I know that was like I can just see it happening in his mind where he's like, that's a good one. All right,
Mm-hmm.
So funny.
But I think like in.
Some people are too smart,
like
Mooney.
The world of Turnpike is going to be like this real.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch Westworld? It'll be like Westworld, where like you have like these fake lorries.
I hope they
around.
keep bringing. I hope they bring Roy back as a new as a new video character sometime.
Yeah, I don't know if they've done a music video in a while, or they did Down Here.
Yeah, they did one for Down Here, and they did one for
Return.
They did Gin Spoken Lies. I think that, I don't know, maybe they'll do one for this record at some point. I haven't heard.
But
it's really funny.
That, or like, I think Evan's talked about like not wanting to write short stories because he doesn't want to use the ideas for them, but it's like a musical or some kind of like large Oklahoma tale.
I would love that.
Like
I would love to see Evan write a musical.
Well, I don't like. I mean, not like a musical in the like, but like in the
Oklahoma where the wind goes.
Not necessarily that way, but I mean more like the Terry Allen.
Somebody's already written a musical about Oklahoma.
Like the Terry Allen kind of Joey Lee style. Yeah,
Juarez style, like.
Yeah. Or like
narrated.
The big family band.
Yeah.
Turnpike.
Yeah, we've talked about doing
Burke, Fulbright.
We talk about that a lot. We did a show last year.
That's like the Dylan.
Or maybe the year before. There was a fundraiser for something in Okemah, for a theater in Okemah, I think. And we put together this band, or Evan put together a band, and it was him, Hank from Turnpike, RC, Fulbright, Thomas Trapp, Noah Jeffries, from Boland's band that I don't think he plays with Boland anymore, but he's like a crazy prodigy, anything with strings guy. Yeah, I think that was it, and me. But there was 8 of us or something. Like, it was pretty crazy, to where I ended up being the drummer. Like, I was actually the percussionist for the whole thing. I had a porch board and some tambourines and shakers, and like I just, or RC and I were the rhythm section, and I just sat there and stood up and played porch board and shook things and sang harmonies. But it was awesome. Yeah. I mean, I was looking around going, all right, Thomas Trapp, who's like, he does all that flat picking, on the For the Devil Knows You're Dead, like those, like he's a flat picker. And Fulbright and Noah, I mean, those are like, what's happening up here, you guys? This is pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, that's like
we called it the Natural Disasters. Is the name of our band.
See, like even just band names. That's there used to be kind of like this like super group here. This was like when 6 Market Boulevard was still playing, but obviously they're Stephenville guys. But Serato and Ben would come, and it would be them, Red, Brandon Adams, Parker Morrow, Eric Willis, and they'd get like Nick Shute, who's like this trumpet player here.
That's
and
cool.
Then like one time they ran into a guy, like Josh Serato ran into a guy who played saxophone. He was just coming through town, and so he played with him. So there'd be like 8 guys on this stage right here, And like Red and BA and Eric would kind of like interchange, or like they'd maybe all be all on stage, but they would go and like just sing their own songs and just and it would always be like a Tuesday, and there'd be like, you know, not a lot of people here.
Those are the most fun though.
Yeah,
those are the most fun nights. Like Jason and I had a band. Jason Eady and I had a band called Johnny and the Footlights, like I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago, and we played all old. It was pre AM Country Heaven. It was before Jason made AM Country Heaven. I think it's kind of what spurred AM Country Heaven, actually. But we would play like pre 1982 country. We just said 1982 just to include a couple Hag songs and like a Randy Travis or something that we wanted to play, you know.
Yeah.
And but we would go on Sunday nights at the Moon Bar in Fort Worth that fits like 30 people in it, and we'd get whoever was in town. So it was like Roger Ray would come out and Brian Rung and just like anybody's players would show up. And there were times when we had 2 steel players, 2 fiddle players, like, and everybody's just singing like Tom T. Hall songs and and then we all go to Jason's house afterwards and like hang out till 4 a.m. and sleep till noon. But
those kind of shows are,
man, they're so fun, and we did that every other week. I think it was Sunday nights every other week, but Sunday night in Fort Worth there were tons of people that were around. It was before Magnolia was open, which is where people go now on Sunday nights. Yeah, you know, when they come into town. But man, those nights are so fun when everybody just doesn't really know what they're doing, but you're gonna do it anyway.
Well, that's the thing too, is like I don't feel like musicians have this thing where like they get off stage and they're like, well, man, we messed up on this and this.
Yeah.
And it's like, you realize that nobody
knows
even
that.
knew. Man. Like, it has to be so, like, there has to be something so messed up for somebody in the crowd to go,
that was really bad.
Man, you guys had a bad show. But I
mean, it doesn't. I try to remember that whenever I feel that way, you know, to just go, nope, it was fine. Yeah. You know, even, you know, sometimes people are sick. Like if you're losing your voice or whatever, and people will get up and say, sorry, I'm losing my voice. So if this show sucks, then that's why. But then always, 90% of the time, adrenaline pulls you through. Yeah. And you feel like it wasn't, like you weren't hitting the notes. And maybe I sounded like Janis Joplin the whole time, but I hit the note, you know, like maybe my tone was weird, but I hit the notes, and the people in the audience didn't know any different. Yeah. Because somehow through, you know, the EQ, somehow through the PA, it came across as, hey, that was fine. Yeah. That was great.
That's like, you know, to circle even back to just the songwriter night, there's like this year and like every year, there'll be some people who drop because like, oh, I have a sore throat. Yeah. Just give my spot to somebody else. And it's like, or they'll play and they'll say, oh man, I've been going through I have the flu right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
if you just don't say it, nobody will know.
Yeah. Because in a lot of ways, you're not necessarily lowering expectations. You're just like, it sounds more of an excuse than.
Right.
But.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be guilty of it. I've done it before. And then after the show, people were like, hey, if you wouldn't have told us you were sick, we wouldn't have known you were sick. Yeah. I'm like, really? Cool. Then I won't say that tomorrow. Like I played a show here with Wade. You were here whenever I did the Cactus, where I actually didn't have a voice. Yeah. Like at all. I lost it the night before in Austin completely. And I still came and I was like, all right, like you can hear what's happened. Like, and it was really like this, like I was talking like this, like it was so bad. But I was like, I'm just going to rely on my jokes tonight. And I literally sang 4 songs in like a 45-minute set. Yeah. But I still get emails about that show. People are like, hey, that was the best show that I've seen you do. It was awesome. I'm like, great. I never sang. I didn't even. I remember you saying. I just sat there and told stories. And
I remember you saying like after where like you guys had played 3 or 4 of those shows. Yeah. And how Wade had told you like, how do you do this? How do you just go up there on stage and, you know, sing for an hour and a half? And then you were like, Wade, you were did you not realize you're on stage like just for like 2 hours?
Yeah, he would stay up there for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
He played in Dallas for no kidding 2.5 hours.
Yeah, because like at that show, before even he went on to do his encore, he had been up there for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
and it was
because he was having a great time
Yeah.
and getting lost.
Yeah,
in it because of something that he never got to do. He never gets to do that. Just like because he would play acoustic shows, but always with Randy or with somebody else, but never just hanging out by himself.
Yeah,
he didn't even have a guitar player on that run.
Yeah,
like Todd didn't even come or anybody.
Yeah, that was a great show though.
Yeah, it was so fun. But that's just like I learned that night, like to just not. Like, I'm just going to get up and do my thing, and if it lands, it lands.
There were some people in the crowd that night who did not think that's the kind of Wade Bowen show it was going to be. And so, like, they were sitting next to, or, like, in front of us, and it was like they had gotten some beer and had kind of, like, sat there for a while, and then we're just kind of like, when's this going to liven up? So, you know, like, they didn't necessarily say that, but you could just tell that they were kind of like, we got to be quiet in here, and like, kind of bummed about that, and then they ended up just leaving. But it was like, it said acoustic on the.
Yeah.
What do you think he was gonna?
Still, like sometimes acoustic shows, especially, you know, with Randy and Wade and them, like their acoustic shows are still pretty rowdy.
Yeah.
Because everybody's singing along and doing the, you know, drunken beer sling along.
I guess we need to like also say though, but like this is like a theater.
This is a theater. Yeah, like you're sitting in a theater with a balcony and it's the Cactus Theater.
But yeah.
But that was a great show. That was a fun run, and I even got laryngitis in the middle of it. But it was still fun, and that's just an excuse, in my opinion, to drink whiskey, you know, on stage.
Not honey and tea.
You put honey and tea in the whiskey.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I'm not a singer, so I don't ever do any of these remedies.
I mean, I think that technically it's probably bad overall, but in the moment, it does the trick to get you through like a song at a time, you know.
Yeah.
Like clear your sinuses a little bit, like get a little bit of whiskey will get you through it, but you're not supposed to. Like if there's any ENTs listening, they would say no, only steamed vegetables and sip room temperature water or something dumb like that.
Well,
nobody can do that though.
Yeah.
In real life.
Room temperature water.
Sip it though, don't, you know, gulp it.
Yeah. Well, do you want to play a song?
Oh, yeah.
We'll do that.
Forgot about that. I talk too much, Mooney. Let's see. I'll play a new song. I wrote this with Jack Ingram. Faithful and true, all that I want to be to you. Lord knows I'm trying, but it's so hard to do. Faithful and true, lonesome and sad, all that I know, all that I've had, good love gone bad, lonesome and sad. You know where I go, you know the things that I do. to. Faithful and true. All that I want to be to you. Lord knows I'm trying, so that's what I